Hayley, steady.
Naughty. Naughty words.
Crikey.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, guys?
Welcome to Colour Me Intrigued.
So, we're just listening to a song I recommended last week.
Yeah, so if you're a secret serial listener, there's your.
This is Simmer by Hayley Williams. What do you think?
I literally I thought I'd listen to it based on what you said, and yeah, I'm digging it. It's good.
Hey,
it's groovy.
He approves.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the main thing I thought when I first listened to it was I started listening and I was like, she sounds really overproduced.
Well, like I said, like Billie Eilish style, but right?
She sounded far too overproduced. Was my thing. I'm kind of I'm not used to her sounding like that. She sounds very poppy.
I agree.
But no, I listened to it. Gave it a couple more listens. I was like, you know, it's actually a really good song. I do like it. It is really good. But yeah, just maybe a touch too much. And the only thing that did annoy me throughout however many listens, the breakdown in it. So the breakdown towards the end of the song is very self-indulgent. It goes on for a while.
Can we hear that? Do you mind?
Oh mate, no, you don't want to. You don't want to put yourself through it.
Is that bad?
No, it just kind of like the song really starts to pick up, and then the bit you listen to when she says a swear.
Yes.
And it really kind of builds up, and then it really sort of tapers.
You know what?
With the breakdown, and I wasn't a fan of the breakdown.
Really gone very heavy. That would have been really cool in that song.
Yeah. I think
Hayley Williams is in Paramore. You should know this.
I think the breakdown is needed in the song, but it's just kind of goes on for a bit, maybe 4 bars too long or something like that.
I think I can tell.
But yeah, when it picks back up again towards the end of the song. But anyway, so funny story with Hayley Williams. So obviously, Stan told me to listen to this song last week. Yeah. And I was driving earlier today, and Hayley Williams was on Radio 1 Live Lounge. Yeah. So if you've ever listened to Live Lounge, it's just guys and girls going in from bands, artists, whatever. They go in, they'll play sort of 4 or 5 tracks. They'll do maybe 3 or 4 of their own stuff, and then they'll do a couple of cover songs. The cover song she did today was a song by Dua Lipa. And I've never heard the Dua Lipa song before. Not really a massive. Not a pop fan.
It's mainstream pop.
Yeah, but I listened to it and I was like, this is actually really good.
Really?
Yeah, it was really, really good. And some of the comments that sort of people had said about the song was that she'd really slowed it down. So I don't know whether the song's quite sort of pacey and upbeat.
That's very interesting.
But she really slowed it down. But I really I love Live Lounge stuff. I've always loved it.
I agree.
It's awesome just to hear different takes on certain things. Yeah, I like covers and stuff like that. It's definitely
the
good.
Covers section we did last week, but
definitely,
it's interesting how they managed to. Like I said last week, I don't know how they do it because it's always the band does one of their own, and then they do one of, I guess like a certain mix that they're throwing out to them and saying, would you like to play this? But sometimes you get these really interesting covers that you're just so surprised they're doing.
Well, I told you, didn't I? So you had the Arctic Monkeys doing an Amy Winehouse song.
I listened to this, by the way.
Did you like it?
I really liked it. Yeah.
So you had N-Dubs doing a script cover, which I really like.
We know how much you love that
there's just it's mad. You do just get like crazy songs done by bands. I love it. I think it's really, really good. So,
what was the story then? Oh, is that the story?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, she was on Live Lounge.
She was on Live Lounge today.
Cool.
So
we'll link you the video, guys.
Whatever fucking day.
What was the song called? Do you know? Make me proud.
No, don't start now. Something like that.
Don't start now, is it? Okay.
But yeah, definitely give that a watch. So, how we usually begin things. How's your week been?
My week has been. Do you know what? It's been alright. Not terrible.
It's been atrocious.
Could have been a lot worse. Just getting on with things. Went to a really good gig last week. Saw a mate play. A mate called Ben Rollinson plays in a band called Purple Number 9. Ooh. And they do covers, and they absolutely. There was a moment, right? They were doing. I Set Fire by Adele, and it's a female singer, and she just really went for it at that last bit. When she goes,
good.
And I was literally next to the amp, and I was just there like, ah! There was this moment where I was like, oh, that's just deafened me. I think I might have just gone there.
Dude's lost half of his hair. You can't see it, it's towards the back.
But she killed it. Don't get me wrong, she killed it. But there was just a few moments where I was just like, I need to move, but because it was a small, intimate venue, I was just like, I'm stuck here next to this massive amp. So yeah, just got a bit deafened. But no, a good week. I was just watching. Before I came here, I was watching a film called Lady Bird, which I had not heard of ever. It's a kind of. Did you ever watch? What's the one with Ryan Gosling where he's a teacher? I can't think what that's called. Can you have a look? Oh, Happy Nelson. I think that's it.
Never seen it.
That's a great film. It's like very sort of indie vibe, kind of slice of life type film.
I'm pretty sure Ryan Gosling's kind of just indie guy, isn't he?
Not La La Land, is that indie?
Okay, apart from La La Land, Drive.
Yeah.
Blue Valentine.
He's attracted to. I think he said in an interview once that his characters he feels like he only takes projects on where he's interested in that character, and he feels like he can empathise with that character in a small way, which is a bit terrifying when you think about Drive, actually.
Yeah.
But it was Saoirse Ronan. So, nice segue here, because I really thought she would win the BAFTA. Because she was, honestly, I told you guys last week, she was incredible in Little Women. Like, absolutely, like, spot on.
What was the BAFTA for? Was it Best Woman or Best Supporting?
Best Lead Actress.
Oh, wow, okay.
And Renee Zellweger got it for Judy. Can you believe? Yeah.
No, I can't.
I didn't see it, so I don't know how great her performance was. But
who knows?
I don't know. I think the Judy film just looked like, I don't know. I thought when I saw the trailer, it looked like it had been made in order for award shows. Do you know what I mean? One of those.
Other winners of BAFTAs include
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he got his best actor, didn't he?
He did indeed, and he had a great speech. Did you see the speech?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't, did you? Like, that was some of the only part of the BAFTAs I saw this year. I think I always feel like the BAFTAs for the Oscars.
I always feel like the BAFTAs is kind of like the pre-match for the.
Exactly. You don't really.
You've got pre-match of BAFTAs when it goes to the Oscars.
Yeah, you don't really care that much but we should do since they're the British
I do feel
awards.
it's quite interesting though the winners that did win. So you obviously had Renee for the woman, Joaquin Phoenix, and then you had 1917 for best film. Yeah. So is that kind of a prelude of what's to come?
I think it must be. Honestly, I think 1917 is sweeping the board especially with best motion picture. I can't see it being pitched by anyone. It's a shame that some films like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are being pushed aside a little bit for that.
Marriage Story.
Oh man,
I love Marriage Story.
It was fantastic acting. I did like that film.
It just made you upset, didn't it?
It just I just got so surprised. It was so surprising.
I feel like there's two types of people. So I've got a friend, and I'm pretty sure he just doesn't like those kind of movies where the topics are just sad and depressing. Whereas me personally, I love that shit.
Yes. I think it was my sister was saying it's really a monotonous subject, really. It's like a very, very small storyline, that story.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I feel like there's so much emotion and heft and stuff like that you can put.
Yes.
So.
Well, this is what I said. I said the thing is, I think divorce is something that a lot of people you'll go. It's just a statistic. You don't really think about what goes into that. But this is that. It was kind of telling you this is what a lot of those stories would have been like, where it's like one person makes a brash decision, and then they end up going into some sort of like lawyer's office, and suddenly it's like we're now fighting for everything. They're shedding out money, and I think
it's definitely the way that
it was enlightening. Yeah. So it was interesting, but no. So this Ladybird film, I can't wait to see the rest of it. It was just got that really nice kind of cute indie film vibe. It's also got exactly the love interest in Little Women. So both those two have been in those films before, so that was quite interesting, I thought. So yeah, looking forward to seeing the rest of that.
Cool.
How about you? Good week?
Dude, I've consumed so much media in the last week. Like, I've watched so many films. I've watched so many TV shows.
Yeah.
I've watched so much fucking sports and shit like that. Like, it's just all into my eyeballs. Honestly, ask me anything. So
been digesting a lot.
yeah, for example, so today I believe we're on June 5th, maybe June 6th. So no, not June. What the fuck am I? February.
This is February, Nathan.
Oh, God. Anyway, so yeah, so we're around the first week of February.
It's 5th,
Am I
yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
My sister's birthday, that's how I know.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
I will tell her.
So on the 2nd of February, not June,
Nice.
Yeah,
See what you did
okay.
there. Very clever.
is Groundhog Day. Now, have you ever seen the movie Groundhog Day?
Yes, of course.
Dude,
yeah.
I'd never ever seen it. I hadn't ever seen the movie Groundhog Day, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ended up watching it, and lo and behold, obviously, it's awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah, Bill Murray's really, really great, and watched it, and like, it's really stupid as well, so I watched it in 2 halves, and because I watched it in 2 halves, I felt like it was Groundhog Day. I felt like,
There we go again.
I'm sure I've watched this. I'm sure I've watched this bit before. I was like, I can't quite be sure. But yeah, so I watched it. I thought it was really, really great.
What are your thoughts? What did you like about it?
Just like I just like the whole sort of story of it.
Yeah.
And the reason I really enjoyed it was that because I'd never seen it before, and it's quite an old movie. Like, it's not.
I wonder when it came out. Maybe like 90s.
It's going to be 90s. Yeah, early 90s.
Something like that.
So, it's been out for a good fucking while, like over 20 years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it before, but to watch it now, I like looking at movies, older movies, watching them and then being like, oh, I can see how this was influenced by that. I can see how this was influenced by that.
Yeah.
So I watched it and I was like, I'm sure they did a similar thing in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've done something like that in How I Met Your Mother. They've picked up, like, a load of traits from that. Simpsons episodes. Different movies and different TV shows have picked up the idea of Groundhog Day.
Right, yeah.
And they've kind of done, something, twisted it and done it in their own way.
Exactly.
And
It's
I
kind
thought
of like
it was
the
really good.
original of... Yeah, I see what you mean. When you see the original, you can see... Suddenly it clicks and you go, there's been, like, pastiches to this everywhere. There's been little, like, throwbacks and harkenings to this.
There's little nods. There's little nods to that
That's
movie,
it,
and that's
yeah.
what
And
that's what I
suddenly
really
you go,
liked. But yeah, really liked the movie. I like the fact that. So I read up a little bit about the movie after I'd seen it, and did you know? So obviously Bill Murray plays the main character.
Good old Bill. We love Bill.
Yeah, but he's a dickhead right at the start, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
So what I was reading was apparently originally penciled in to play the main character was Tom Hanks.
Why did I think you were going to say that? Is
Now-
it because they had that thing where they look really similar?
Yeah, they look really similar. They're kind of similar ages.
Yeah.
And they're both really, really good actors.
Right.
So the thing that I was reading up about it was apparently Tom Hanks turned it down because he said that he's portrayed as too much of a nice guy, which is completely believable.
Yeah, it's true.
He's portrayed as, you've got Forrest Gump
Yes.
and then you've got Bill Murray. Who could you imagine being an arsehole?
He's now in that film where he's playing the nicest guy ever, isn't he? What's the guy? Have you seen the new film he's
Yeah, he does.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
That's
Mr.
his
Rogers.
name. That's the one.
He does loads of TV shows in America.
Yeah.
He's quite a big.
A big figure, yeah.
big
I
figure.
actually saw the first trailer for that. I'm really excited to see that. Although it's hardly playing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's playing like twice this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Anyway.
But yeah, so originally sort of Tom Hanks was meant to be this main guy.
Yeah.
And he turned around. He had the balls to turn around and just be like, "Look, guys, don't really think it's for me." And his argument was, he's seen as this nice guy. If he goes in being a dickhead from the start,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna kind of be looking for that point where they're like, "Oh, he's clearly gonna turn out to be a nice guy in the end." Whereas with Bill Murray, if he's a dick, you can kind of believe he's a dick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very
and
true.
I completely believed it. And I got halfway through the movie, I was like, well, I reckon he's just going to end up in a loop and he's just going to stay there because he's so much of a twat. But yeah, like, you know,
just hoping things don't work out.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I thought it was really funny. I love, I love the thought of being stuck. You know, there's loads of like religious subtext in there, you know, like Buddhism and stuff like that. But I love the thought of being stuck in sort of in a time paradox like that, stuck in one day, and you having to kind of figure your way out.
Yes, yeah.
Because he does exactly what everyone would do. You know, he goes to the restaurant. He asks this girl some random questions, so the next time he wakes up, he can go up to her and pretend that he knows her, just so he can try and bang her. Like, you know, he does all these things that are, you know, really selfish for him.
Yeah.
And then he kind of, you know, he clearly just gets bored. You know, he gets really bored of it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, I'm gonna try and do good. And the last day that he sees out, he does all these good things. Ends up with the girl of his dreams. She stays there.
Yeah.
And you know, life continues. But yeah, I really liked it. I like the fact that they never actually leave there. That was my biggest thing. I was like, I really hope you don't go and see them like, oh, we're just back at the office now.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
So they never leave Puxatawny. Puxatawny, something like that.
He's not saying that right, is he?
No, I'm pretty sure it is. Puxatawny. Because the little hog, the groundhog, Puxatawny Phil.
Yeah. Do you know what? I haven't seen it in a while.
But yeah, I literally so it's always on February 2nd.
Right.
So the reason that I watched it is because I heard someone say, "Oh, it's Groundhog Day today," and I was like, "What the fuck are you on about?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a movie called Groundhog Day." So I was like,
I went,
"Right, I'm gonna go watch it now."
This is the thing. I went, you mean the movie? And they're like, no, that is a celebrated festival every year. It's like, oh, that's not just like a concept of the same day going round and round and round.
But yeah, I liked it. Really, really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I'd definitely suggest anyone to watch it.
Bill Murray has definitely played a really dislikable character in a few things. I'm trying to think what one of them are. There's one where he's sat there at the end and he's singing "Give Me Shelter." I think that's it, by Bob Dylan, and it's just like I feel like the whole film has just been this really dislikable character. I don't know what it is about him, because actually he's known to be a nice guy, the same as Tom Hanks.
Are you talking about when he's in Japan? I think it is, with Scarlett Johansson.
Lost in Translation is not particularly a great person.
He's a twat in that movie. Let's be honest.
I'm trying to think what he was. Why is he a twat in that movie? Because
he's just. Film. I think it's just. I don't think it's him personally, but his demeanour is. He's just down and lonely.
Well,
and
he's
depressed.
just bored. That's all you get from it. You just get this like complete sense of like, what is the point? Like, he's in Japan and he just can't do anything like other than what feels like orders. He's just being told. There's that really great scene where the Japanese marketing guys are going, okay, now give us another pose, and it's just and he can do it so perfectly, can't he? He's really good at that, but you just feel like he's like, fucking hell, please stop. The whole film. Yeah, I love that film.
But yeah, that was kind of that, and then also this year on Groundhog Day, February the 2nd, was the Super Bowl.
Did you stay up?
I did not stay up.
I've
done it. I've done it a few times before, and I don't really. It's gonna sound really fucking lame and stupid, but I don't get the rules. I understand the rules, but for me personally, I think games a bit too stop-starty.
Yeah.
The main English complaints of American football are it's too stop-starty. There's too many adverts. There's too much. There's too much. And it is. I do completely agree. Like, you know, if you're trying to watch Super Bowl in England, so I think BT and BBC prior years have done like quite good coverage of it.
Have they?
But the trouble is, if you're in America and you're watching the Super Bowl, and you'll watch it on ESPN or Fox or wherever the fuck you get your sport from.
Yeah.
In between the plays, when you have the stoppages, you're going back to pundits who know their shit about American football.
Yeah.
In England, when we cut away from the pitch and we go to the BBC studio, you've got people probably just been doing fucking match of the day. Oh, you're the sports pundits, aren't you?
Oh my god.
talk about American football, please.
What?
And it's honestly, it's so
There's
disheartening
no
because
insight.
they don't know a fucking thing.
Oh my god.
And they admit it. And yeah, like stand up for the Super Bowl and it's bullshit because you got stabbed till like fucking 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
I've done it a couple of years, but you know,
I had a mate at work who did it. He came in and
yeah.
I don't know why I did that to myself.
unless I was like really really invested in a certain team, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But so going back to Groundhog Day,
Mm-hmm.
massive thing in America with the Super Bowl is the adverts.
Okay.
So I know it sounds ridiculous.
What's it?
But because
Half time.
so you've got halftime. They've got the halftime show.
Okay.
Which is usually a musical medley. Red Hot Chili's have done it 1 year.
Yes.
Fucking Metallica have done it.
Madonna.
Beyonce, Madonna, like you name a massive
JT.
person, they fucking done
Janet
it.
Jackson and JT. That was Super Bowl.
Wasn't that when she got her tits out?
She did indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Badass.
you know you've got all these halftime shows which are massive things. You've got adverts. I know it sounds really stupid, but I know that companies pay massive money.
Huge.
Because
they would do.
You've got literally a massive audience in America that are going to be watching the Super Bowl.
What's weird is that I saw the statistic which was I think it was like 11 million people watched the Super Bowl, but something
I'll
like
call that bullshit.
35 million watched the World Cup final in 2018.
I'll call bullshit. I don't believe that number.
Let's have a look.
I wouldn't believe that only 11 million people watch the Super Bowl. I don't know.
We'll find out. That's
but anyway, so really, really stupid.
Yeah.
One company did an advert with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
And they did it. They did like an extra day to Groundhog Day.
Oh, I see. What they added one onto the end of the film? Or...
No. They filmed another day.
Oh, wicked.
With Bill Murray
Yeah.
as part of their advertising campaign. Because obviously they knew it was Groundhog Day. They knew what day the Super Bowl was on.
That's good.
So they filmed it to go out on the Super Bowl day. I just thought it was really ridiculous.
Was it good?
It was
For an
stupid.
advert.
Like it's stupid. Adverts are ridiculous. There was another one with Jason Momoa. And it was basically like him saying, you know, when I go home, I like to just chill out and all this shit. And I think he was selling home insurance.
Okay.
Oh, and this company knows what you want to do. And he literally goes into his house. He takes fake arms off, and he's this really weedy guy underneath. He takes off this fake bodysuit and shows that he's a really, really skinny guy.
He's like frail.
He sits down on a sofa and takes off like a skull cap, and you just see that he's got really bad, really bad bald top of the head. Like the CGI on it is really shit. Like it's shocking.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be. Like it's meant to be like stupid. It's
Not meant
to be
to
like
alarm you. Yeah.
But he's trying to sell you like home insurance. It's fucking stupid. It's like, oh look, we can just be whoever we want to be when we're at home. It's fucking stupid.
Terrible.
But
Like the link there is like, I feel like most of them is like just get someone famous, maybe something like super American, and just harken back to that. They did it last year with Big Lebowski, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they made everyone like, is there going to be a second Big Lebowski? And then it's like the Coen brothers don't do sequels, so definitely not. But I was so excited for that. But yeah, I saw like a headline saying it's freaking people out that advert.
It was so weird. I showed my girlfriend that because obviously fucking females love Jason Momoa, and she was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then she was like, "Well, that's just really bad CGI." I was like, "No, it's actually him. It's actually what he looks like."
It's him.
But so another
cool man.
another big part of Super Bowl is you get shitloads of movie trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly.
You said that right.
Right. So similarly with the adverts for companies, and they're trying to get you to buy their shit. Super Bowl is a massive time for movie and TV trailers. Companies will pay out the fucking arse,
really,
so that they can get their shit out there. You know,
it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because they know that loads of people are going to be watching.
So what did we get this year?
So boom, I've got a list. I've got a list of things for you. And these were all shown. These were all the major movie things that were shown during the Super Bowl.
Do we have some that are do they go quite far ahead as well, or is it like just coming out this summer, or just in the near future?
I think it's kind of like 6 months is probably the.
That's what I was going to say. I imagine
they're all within 6 months.
Okay.
But yeah, they're teaser trailers, or they're usually what they'll do is it will either be a teaser trailer for something you haven't seen yet, or it'll be an extended trailer for something you have already seen.
Okay, cool.
So some of them we might have already spoken about, but I'm going to shoot them at you anyway.
Exciting. Okay, sweet.
Right, so during the Super Bowl, we had adverts for Black Widow.
Oh,
coming out in May. Scarlett Johansson.
I'm definitely.
They've got fucking David Harbour from Stranger Things.
From Stranger Things.
Yeah, he's in it. I'm pretty sure he's playing the villain.
That's
From
exciting.
all the trailers I've seen, he's playing the villain.
I saw there's a show on YouTube where they show people around each other's cribs. And the thing is, it's not the same as like.
Do you not remember MTV Cribs?
I don't think it is that, but it's like a version of that, and he was on it. He lives in a really like
Unassuming
hipster
house.
apartment in New York, and
Fair play.
the whole thing you're just thinking, you don't use any of this, do you, dude? He's just kind of like, I've got this parchment on the wall so you can write who's been here, and it's just a blank sheet, and then he goes into the library. He's like, there's these books, my wife likes these books, and then he goes into the kitchen, and he's still there like, so this is where I would do the cooking, but my wife does the cooking. And then he finally goes into the bedroom and nearly sets the place on fire.
So David Harbour does nothing. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think he is maybe a little preoccupied with other things.
Fair enough.
I don't know what it is, but
anyway, you're spending too much time on one thing. So we've got Black Widow. Yes
Black Widow.
Or no? You excited? You going to go see it?
Yes.
Perfect. No Time to Die. They had a new trailer for that. It's
very
very little. Excited?
Yeah, but
gonna go see it?
Do you still feel the same as you did? Because we said
100%,
after we saw the
100%.
first
I
trailer
think
that it was like maybe okay, so it might not be as
from
good.
all the marketing I've heard and seen of it, I think James Bond's going to die, and that black female actress, she's going to be the new lead going forward.
I see.
That's my thoughts.
I think
we
probably
said
will.
I think we've said it jokingly quite a few times before.
It's
I
rumored out
believe
the
we've
window,
said
isn't
it.
it? Yeah, everybody says it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, it's gonna change, and they keep rumouring like Idris Elba and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, we shall see. But
Okay, so
excited for that
Black Widow, No Time to Die, Mulan.
Yes, I will see that because of all the ones that. Do you remember we went through this when we went through the Disney remakes? We said, I think the only one I would watch is Mulan because it's actually made for people. Do you know what I mean?
think
like it is people, and it would lend itself quite nicely
the only thing
to
that's
acting.
the only thing that's annoyed me so far with the trailers is it's just like the whole story is meant to be she's a female and she's trying to get into the male army, and it doesn't work because in the animated movie you can get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In a real life movie, all you got to do is just turn around and be like, you don't look like a dude. And she doesn't. She doesn't look like a dude. Even when she's got armour on and shit like that.
Seen this,
she doesn't look like a dude.
I saw a little bit of that and I thought exactly the same. Also, surely there'd be like some kind of check. They would check somehow.
Or just lift up the hood.
There's got to be some. I don't know. There's gotta be
Okay,
some
so
point.
next up, Quiet Place 2. You see Quiet Place?
Yes.
Good. So we've got a Quiet Place 2. I'm really, really enjoying what they've done so far and what they've shown you. So they've shown you very little of what's happening current day, but they're really harkening back to this is what happened before everything happened.
Right.
So John Krasinski.
Yes.
Obviously, he was starring in it, and spoilers for anyone that's not seen A Quiet Place, but if you haven't, you're a fucking idiot. So in A Quiet Place, he dies right at the end, and he was shown in this trailer.
But
he's
before.
Not, yeah, so
it's gonna tell both sides. Do you think?
So the story they're telling, I think they're doing after. So with her and now her 3 kids.
Yes, I saw some of that
Her
part.
and her 3 kids, or her and her 2 kids? No, her and her 3 kids.
3 kids.
So it's now her.
Baby,
So yeah, so she's got 2 kids and the baby. So it's her and the children in one's in the future timeline, and then in the sort of before prequel timeline, you've obviously got the family.
Oh, interesting.
But it is kind of like I think they might show you, or they're trying to mislead you and say you might find out why it's happened.
Do you think we will?
No, I don't think so. I think there's going to be more movies. Fair play
There'll
to
be a
them because
third
it's really intriguing plot. You haven't really. I don't really feel like many movies have made you want to sit so quietly and silently.
Yes.
And they've kind of forced that into the
You're
audience.
riveted.
Really like it.
Amazing. This is the thing. It's an event to go and watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you don't see films like that where everybody just has to really shut the hell up and just.
You do notice it as well.
Strap in.
Like I remember when I went to go see it, you could literally hear a pin drop.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And you could hear gasps and
That's how it
shots and
should
everything
be.
like that.
That's
But
how it should
yeah,
be.
I definitely
I
agree.
like those kind of films where everybody kind of reacts. Like the last one I saw for that was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where there's that ending sequence where everybody is like uproarious laughter.
Yeah.
And then there's some shock moments where like, you're like, wait, is this gonna happen? You do hear those,
Yeah.
like that. I love that. That's what cinema should be about. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Minions.
2.
There's a new Minions movie.
Minions 2.
Minions 2, The Rise of Gru.
Tell me how you feel about this, I guess.
Dude, I've, at the end of the day, got a little kid.
It's
so
a
I'm going to go
Minions film.
fucking watch it.
Of course you are.
Minions are cool. It's The Rise of Gru. It does what it says on the tin.
It's got Gru in it, at least.
But yeah, it's Baby Gru. Not Baby Gru.
Baby
but,
Gru.
Little teenage child Gru. Him when he was a kid, basically, and how he rose to infamy within the villains.
That sounds good. That does sound like a good synopsis. I feel like with Minions, I wish they weren't overdoing it as much as they are, but at the same time, it hasn't been not funny, ever.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think every time I've seen it, even though I'm like, oh, here we go again, it's like, no, I came out of that feeling like I've been very amused.
Yeah.
By camera.
So, next one up on the list, Top Gun Maverick. Another Top Gun.
Every time I look at the poster, I just think, it's just one of those, it really pisses me off.
What? Another Top Gun movie?
Yeah, just don't bring it back. It's so old. Just please let it be. It's a good movie back in the day. I just
Why
feel
does
like
that upset you so much? You seem
it's
so.
one of those, dude.
You seem
It's
so
one of those.
annoyed.
We've been talking about this. Like, what can we do in Hollywood? And it just goes. Oh, there was a good film back in the day. It did sell quite a lot, so we'll try and make another one. And
Let's
it's
do
just like,
Point Break again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like to me. I think it maybe stings a little because it reminds me of Point Break.
Okay, fair enough. The last. Okay, no, that's quite a few to be honest. I'm not going to say the last anything. Okay, so next up, there was Disney Plus adverts, and they really went in hard on their Marvel series that they're going to do.
Okay.
So they've obviously got a Loki series, they've got WandaVision series, and they've got the new Captain America and Bucky series.
I think I only just heard about this. Did you know about this before?
Yeah, knew about them all before. So the Loki series seems quite cool. Word on the street is that he's been arrested by time police.
Ah.
So if you remember in what happened to him in Endgame, he went away with I believe it was the Tesseract, and he kind of went off into a void.
Of course.
But apparently, the uniform that he was wearing and this small glimpse you see of him, because you really do see only a small glimpse of Loki in this advert.
Yeah.
He's wearing I think it's meant to be like a prison uniform or something like that by time police, which I think is pretty cool.
Is it actually Tom Hiddleston?
Yes, Tom Hiddleston.
And actually Chris Evans? Do we know?
Or I don't know. I think the series is just meant to be about Loki.
Right. Okay. Cool.
WandaVision, which I hated these two characters in all of the fucking movies. I'm still not interested in it, but the advert actually made me intrigued about it, to be honest.
I'm not going to be saying this.
So
honestly,
the way that they did it was that they showed Wanda and Vision in a home together and in loads of different ways. So it was kind of like one of them they were in the 60s. One of them they were in fancy dress. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of like they played up like that they're living together, but I don't know whether it's real life, whether she's managed to go back in time and resurrect him, whether they've invented a new Vision, whether it's all in her head. Who knows?
I am interested actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch the trailer.
Yeah, watch the trailer. So it could go a bunch of different ways, and then obviously you've got the Cap and Bucky thing, and that's pretty much.
That's what I meant. Cap and Bucky, is that actually Chris Evans?
No, because obviously.
Is it from?
Dude, do you remember Endgame?
Yeah. So is it after? I don't know anything about it.
So yeah, so all of these are set. All of these are going to be set afterwards.
Ah, okay. It's still following the same time.
Yeah, so the Cap and Bucky one is going to be basically Falcon. Who's Anthony Mackie and Bucky, and it's Bucky Barnes, and it's going to be about their story, how they're going to take over the mantle of Captain America, I believe. You see the shield in it. You see the Captain America shield in the thing, and Falcon's practicing with it, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. I was never really a massive fan of Captain America. Never really cared about Bucky or fucking Cap or Falcon or any of these characters. But I'll still, to be honest,
you're invested now. You're so invested,
dude. I'm gonna get Disney Plus, so it'd be a shame if I don't bother to watch these.
Yeah,
things.
I get you.
So these next two are definitely gonna be quick fire. There's a new SpongeBob movie. Give a shit.
No.
Do you want to know something that's gonna make you give a shit?
What?
Snoop D-O-double-G is in the fucking movie. I kid you not.
Oh, good. Okay.
Snoop Dogg.
Sold.
Snoop Dogg is in this movie. Sonic the Hedgehog. Obviously, that's out. Pretty much in like a week's time.
It is, isn't it? I'm tempted, but actually, do I care? I think I care about Jim Carrey, so I may see it.
So the Sonic advert was the funniest one of pretty much, not of all of them, but it was quite amusing.
Was it really funny?
No, it was just amusing the way that they did it.
What did they do?
So it wasn't just a typical trailer for Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they did it was they interviewed a bunch of athletes.
Okay.
And it was on a track field. They interviewed some athletes, and they were all asking them really what's the word? Really unassuming questions.
Okay.
So they were like, what do you admire about this person? And they weren't telling you who the person was. So you were kind of like, well, who the fuck are they on about?
Yeah.
And then after about 20, 30 seconds, you just see the camera pan over, and then it's Sonic sitting in a chair, and you're like, are you fucking serious? It's adverts for Sonic. And then it just goes into a normal trailer for Sonic.
Nice.
But to be honest, it looks quite funny.
Well played.
It seems like my stupid sense of humour, so I will probably see that.
They've just got to encapsulate what people loved about it back in the day, don't they? They've got to salvage that feeling somehow.
Definitely.
We'll see.
And then last up was a trailer for Fast and Furious 9.
That, do you know what? That's one of those where you just immediately roll your eyes. I'll be honest. As soon as I was like, oh, of course, we haven't finished that saga yet.
So big,
fucking annoying.
Big news for this trailer, which I didn't understand because I don't watch any of them. I don't really want to. Big news coming out of this trailer was a character who was previously dead has been resurrected, back alive in that universe. So the last 5-10 seconds of the thingy, you see someone walk out from the shadows and into a brightly lit room, and it's this Chinese guy or Oriental guy. I believe his character's name's Wu.
Okay.
Or something like that.
He died way back.
He died way back, and apparently you see him die is what I've been told. Like you see him. The car crashes and you see him die.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy's back for more fast action. Also, John Cena's in this movie. He's playing the villain, which I can't believe. It's literally the only reason that I want to watch this movie, because any film that you see John Cena in, he is the biggest. He's the biggest lovable guy in the fucking movie. The only time he's ever played a bad guy was he did a little cameo. In Daddy's Home, and he was right at the end when he gets off the motorbike.
Or something. Yeah, Daddy's Home. Yeah.
So when he's right at the end of Daddy's Home,
he's
such a dick. And then Daddy's Home 2, he is a dick, but then by the end of the movie, he's just a big softy, so it's all fine. But like
they make up eventually.
Yeah, but in this movie, he literally looks like he's just meant to be the bad guy, and apparently he's playing I don't know Vin Diesel's character name, but. Is it Vin Diesel? Vin Diesel, yeah. He plays Vin Diesel's brother.
Oh.
So apparently the big thing is going to be between them.
So
I personally literally couldn't give a shit, but...
Well, this is it. I mean, are they still going with having them like as a heist team? Because do they still have Jason Statham and The Rock in it?
No, The Rock's not in it. Jason Statham's not in it. So that's Hobbs and Shaw.
That's split off now.
Yeah, so now I think Hobbs and Shaw are going off. And yeah, I think it's literally just what crazy fucking stupid stunts can we get away with doing in this movie? Yeah. It's just kind of what I take from the trailer.
Same as every time.
Fucking who knows,
There's
bro.
always so many bits where you're like, yeah, the CGI was pretty good then, but obviously that is entirely impossible.
That defies the laws of physics.
There was a bit last time where didn't he dive out of the window? They drove a car out of a skyscraper. I remember that happening last time. I'm thinking, I'm so far done with this. Like, it's just ruined.
But yeah, so what do you make of the old Super Bowl trailers? What do you think? Anything pique your interest?
I think so. Black Widow, I will see. There's nothing I'm particularly very, very excited for. Of the songs, of the stuff you said, hasn't it all been sequels?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Oh no, apart from
Sonic.
Actually, all stuff from the same universe. Sonic is an original. We haven't had a Sonic before, I don't think.
Yeah, there's been a Sonic movie before, but it's not. It's been done, but it's not been done very well.
But it's still from.
But yeah, it's really interesting actually. All of those are either franchises or sequels with characters that you've known before.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Maybe you should create some new fucking ideas. No worries, Hollywood. I've got loads of them.
This is exactly it. They just. I think as soon as you tell me nowadays that it's just one of many, it just loses that impact. But it's mad to me that everybody, like especially Americans, they're going, "Oh my God, there's more Fast and Furious coming out!" Like that.
Dude,
blows my mind.
you went a bit Irish Scottish there.
Fast and Furious.
There's more Fast and Furious coming out.
Who invited the Irish?
So, speaking of Hollywood not having any great ideas and movie sequels, today, literally about an hour or two ago.
What did we get? Uh-oh.
Let me get my laugher out first. There was a new teaser trailer for a new Saw movie.
Yeah. How are we still going with that? How is that still going, dude?
Give me.
I'm despairing here.
Listen, give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna try and sell this movie to you, because I personally fucking love Saw.
You like your horrors though.
Yeah, I love horror movies, but especially Saw. It's got a place in my heart.
Oh.
Anyway, 30 seconds. I'm gonna sell this movie to you.
Go.
You're following the cops this time. They're the main characters,
right?
Not the villains. The cops include Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
What the fuck? It sounds like a comedy. The Hitman's Bodyguard 2.
In the teaser trailer, Samuel L. Jackson says, "Motherfucker."
Oh my God, does he? Oh, fuck off,
Tell me you're not interested.
What's happening? What is happening?
So
how is that actually a thing?
You only see about 30 seconds of different clips of the movie. Whether all of those clips are actually going to make it into the final cut, anyone knows. But what it seems like is you're going to be following with Chris Rock and another detective. They're going around and they're trying to work out what the fuck's going on. Blah blah blah.
Mad. I can't believe Chris Rock is playing a serious role.
But listen. So the reason I'm interested is the movie title is Spiral. They've taken the Spiral insignia that was used in various different Saw movies.
All right.
They've taken that, and that's the main image of the movie.
Right.
Is a spiral.
Right.
The movie's called Spiral, and the little tagline for the movie is "From the Book of Saw." Now, I'm intrigued by this on two counts.
Tell me why you're intrigued.
I'm intrigued by this on two counts. Either this is going to be like a cult, so I believe that the movie has taken place after all of the Saw movies have happened. Okay. So it's going to be a sequel to everything that you've seen.
Like a spin-off.
Yeah.
Right.
If you will, it's happening. I've been told it's happening in the same city. So it's still going to be in the same place. So everyone's going to know what's happened before.
Okay.
But yeah, like them giving it a different title, them saying it's from the Book of Saw, kind of makes me think like, okay, well maybe maybe Jigsaw, maybe Tobin Bell, his character Jean Kramer, maybe someone's kind of got all of his workings together. Maybe they've created a Bible. Maybe they've created some form of book. Ooh. Maybe it's going to be a cult. Maybe there's going to be loads of copycats. I'm genuinely interested. I'm genuinely interested to see where this movie goes, because, most of the people were kind of bored to death with Saw I think it was probably about the 5th one.
Yeah, around there.
I think usually around the I think most people that you talk to around the 5th mark is where people are like, you know what, fuck this is bullshit.
Everyone had enough by that point. Yeah.
Me personally, I got pissed off around number 5, 6. I still went and watched them all, and I still fucking, it comes in peaks and troughs and stuff.
This is the thing, dude. I've heard from other fans that when you actually piece them all together and when you really think of that overarching storyline, even though, yes, they did get a bit monotonous, there's so much going on, particularly with Tobin Bell. Is that him?
Yeah, so his characters, Tobin Bell's character name is John Kramer. But there's so many, it's too convoluted because you've got so many subplots with so many different sub-villains. Your main villain is Jigsaw, is Tobin Bell, is John Kramer. That's your main guy.
Yeah.
When he dies in the 3rd movie, you kind of have to go off to your sub-villains. And then when you go off to your sub-villains, literally after number 3, sorry, it seems like you get a different sub-villain every movie, which is hard to fucking keep track of.
Yeah, it would be.
And also they keep having to backtrack on what they've done before and been like, oh, you know this flashback we showed you in an earlier movie? Oh, this other guy was there as well. This other guy was there as well.
I don't like that.
That really pissed me off. But in the last movie, so if you ask, I'm just gonna shoot it out at you because you've probably not seen it. But if you ask any Saw movie fan, whether they like the whole franchise or whether they just liked a few movies, most people will say what they should have done was had Saw 1, had Saw 2, and at the end of sort of 3, or even if you wanted to push it at 4, you should have had Dr. Gordon come back and be the big mastermind that was helping Jigsaw out all along. Because in the first movie, you see Dr. Gordon cut his ankle off and he fucks off into the hallway. You never see that guy again. And you don't see him from Saw 2, you don't see him in Saw 3, you don't see him in Saw 4, you don't see him all the way until the last film that they brought out. And when they brought out that movie, the film finishes with Dr. Gordon, so it comes round full circle, finishes with Dr. Gordon being like, actually, yeah, I was fucking helping him. And he slams the door. So they do bring the story full circle.
One, am I right in saying the last one was called Jigsaw?
Oh, no, fuck yeah, because you had Jigsaw. There you go, my fucking...
What was before that then?
The final chapter.
The final chapter, okay. Right. And that was when that happened, okay. I did say, I saw Jigsaw actually.
To be honest, Jigsaw the movie, I've phased out of my memory because it was shit.
It was terrible.
Saw the final chapter. If you really like the original story of Saw, it does kind of bring the whole franchise back. That's round how the story should have.
So there you go. Yeah. Okay. So maybe they just they put a bit of puff in the middle of it. So are you, in general, are you looking forward to any of these for the coming couple of months?
I mean, I guess so. Like all of the ones that I've mentioned. Well, I say all of them. Most of the ones I've mentioned are probably gonna have a bit of a watch of. I think the main one for me is probably going to end up being definitely Saw, as obviously stated.
Yes.
And
can tell.
Yeah, and probably James Bond. To be honest, I know it's been going on for over 50 years or whatever, but it's a British tradition. And
I think we're both looking forward to how they're going to kind of phase out Daniel Craig, because he's like, I honestly think he's got a great legacy, and we know now how great James Bond can be, because Skyfall was like, it showed you, it was like, I would give that like a solid 9 out of 10. That was a great film.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they just kind of, they sort of just went over old ground with Spectre.
Spectre just, you had the same kind of plot. That was the thing. They kind of like had a template from Skyfall, and then they went, okay, so we've got the bad guy who's kind of got like this twisted thing about him, and they go, we also had a great actor. We had Javier Bardem, so we're getting Christoph Waltz, and you're thinking, yes, this is. And you can imagine them all sat there rubbing their fingers, going, "This is going to be amazing."
I kind of feel like with Skyfall, they went about 3 or 4 steps forward.
Yes.
In actually telling a really good story, and it really meant something.
Giving depth to
and
his
then with
character.
and then with Spectre, they just went 5 steps back.
Yes, it went straight back to like Quantum of Solace level. And that's the thing.
Mundane bullshit.
With Spectre, there was so much of it that you could see had worked, but it was because those characters were so well scripted and condensed, and they kind of played on things that you loved about the old films and had some harrowing back to them, like they had the old car and stuff, and then they just kind of missed the point. They missed the point, and it felt empty. It felt like a shell of a film, and they were, like that was the problem. So now I'm just really hoping, please give Daniel Craig the send off that he deserved. We all know now. Like they've been gossiping about Idris Elba, but we know now. I think this is his last film as James Bond. He's also, dude. I'm looking forward. Now we've seen Knives Out to seeing him in loads of other roles. Please explore your talent.
Yeah. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see what else you can do. I think you've shown your chops in Knives Out of different, different ways you can go about it.
God, he's a good actor. What's the one with him as like an American? Was he a prisoner? With Adam Driver.
Logan Lucky.
That was a cool film.
I really like that. It's really
very like different. There we go. Yeah. A good original film, unlike everything we've talked about.
But yeah, no, I think out of all of them, thank you Superbowl for your for your trailers. As stupid as it is to say.
Thank you Superbowl, not for the game, but for the marketing.
Yeah, not for the game, not for the Kansas City winners.
But for the adverts.
Yeah, but for the adverts. Thanks for the trailers. But yeah, definitely, I'm going to check out James Bond 100%. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out that Spiral movie teaser trailer.
Cool.
So that's going to be your new like Saw movie.
If there's any fans out there listening to this, I feel like they're going to be very excited by your synopsis.
100%, you've got to be.
Yeah, sounding excited. But other than that, anything else that we covered? Minions 2, of course.
Of course, we
just cannot wait.
Also, Snoop Dogg in the new SpongeBob movie. I wasn't fucking lying. Check that advert out. He's in the fucking trailer.
It's so good. It's so funny. But this is the thing. The main overarching kind of takeaway, if you like, is the fact that they're just doing the same thing. Where it's like, well, we've got this movie franchise still here. I guess we could use that. We don't have any original ideas. Do you know what we could do? We could get a really big movie actor in for this, and it would put bums on seats. That's what I'm getting from the Saw, honestly, myself. It's like, oh, do you know what we could do? We could get Sam Jackson to say motherfucker, and everyone goes.
It works, mate. Honestly, it's worked on me. I'm intrigued.
So this is it, exactly.
Yeah, that's it, man.
But I think we've got a couple more things to talk about, so maybe we'll meet up later in the week and we'll try and talk about... I want to personally review 1917 because I went to see that the other day.
I definitely think there's a few movies as well that have come out recently that definitely need some attention.
Yes.
I've seen Bombshell, seen Bad Boys for Life.
I'm so intrigued by Bombshell as well. That sounds like it's quite good.
And I hear that Adam Sandler's been making some more Netflix movies.
Yeah, who hasn't heard by this point? This is the weird thing.
Uncut Gems has just come out, so we're definitely going to be chatting about that.
Yes. Cool.
Perfect. Well, let's wrap it up there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for reviewing all of them. I'm excited.
Yeah, good. Thanks for listening, guys, and make sure you tune in next time.